Welcome to a new episode of The Other Russian. So, today I am going to finally dig into that trip to Amsterdam that I mentioned to you at some point in time, and I'm gonna show you shitload of photos and provide you with some strange comments here and there. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you watch this, you find this somewhat entertaining. So yeah, let's kick off and show. Oh, by the way, before I go to another view that is on my second screen, I wanted to give you a bit of a leading into it. So yeah, I asked my wife to come to help me with creating a logo, and yeah, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. Uh, Everything that I do so far is I'm doing by myself, but yeah, this was an instrumental piece that was missing for me. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the left upper corner, you'll be able to see it, right? So there it is. Yeah, I mean, I love it. Anyway, so I will continue the showcase, and I've been busy today recording that video. I'm actually trying to remember like which episode is this? Is like 13th or 14th? So 13th. Shit, I've forgot to change the number of episode because yeah, it is supposed to be 14, so let me do it on the go, actually, Let's just save this as a picture. So I'm doing it right now on my main screen, and I am exporting a Keynote deck, actually just one slide, um, into a JPEG, which I use for then this part that I've shown to you before. So if I've done everything correctly, I think I'll be able to, yeah, there we go. There you go. So boom, episode 14. Hello. So that was fast. Yeah, the deck that you've seen here was used by me to record a video. And finally, I did it. I did it. I mean, I wouldn't say it was good. Yeah, I'll send you the link in the notes. But yeah, I mean, just for a start, definitely I want to re-record it further on because it was not perfect, it was not ideal, but I decided to just fucking go with it and not miss out on this opportunity. So yeah, going back to Amsterdam, here's Amsterdam. So yeah, one of the several things that fascinates me a lot about Netherlands in general, and Amsterdam in particular, is that territory, let's put it this way, where they're all located, has great kind of connection with design and architecture, and I couldn't help but notice those aspects throughout my entire journey to Netherlands, because I've been there, uh, well, probably 3 4 times or so, mainly in Amsterdam, then the Hague, Den Haag, or as it's properly pronounced. Actually, a couple of Breda as well. Yeah, so there's been Eindhoven, Utrecht, and yeah, some probably other locations that I cannot remember well. But yeah, I definitely want to go to Rotterdam because it's supposed to be like this amazing cultural place. I bet somewhat similar to kind of Saint Petersburg. By the way, when you kind of go first to Holland and Amsterdam in particular, and then if all of a sudden you appear in post-war Russia, I guess, in Saint Petersburg, you would see incredible resemblance. And the reason is that Peter first decided to build St. Petersburg from scratch in the middle of swamps after visiting Holland. He was this inspired, he was this amazed, and he was like, what the fuck? I want to have the same here in my country. But yeah, I mean, when I came to Netherlands like a couple of times ago, I mean, the time before the previous, yeah, I guess. So anyway, I went outside the plane, and the thought that was running through my mind, this is my land. I was feeling it with my my bones, I don't know, my bone marrow, my blood, whatever, that this is my land. But then somebody did pinpoint it to me that it was typical phrase for a Russian. But yeah, no, no offense there. Anyway, so the idea here is that keep on using this fucking phrase. Anyway, uh, yeah, I mean, two places would I prefer to live throughout my life, mainly, like Netherlands and Thailand. Those are just perfect. They have a lot of resemblance between them. So Netherlands is pretty much like Asia, Southeast Asia. Well, yeah, Thailand mainly. Some not Singapore, but probably Bali vibes here and there because of the mm, uh, oh shit, the views, the houses, the kind of fields. Yeah, fields, the word I was looking for. So there is a lot of resemblance, and Asia is pretty much Southeast Asia and those countries that I mentioned. If you put them in the northern hemisphere, it would have been Netherlands. Like this is the one exact same thing. So yeah, I've made shitload of pictures here, and the pictures that I made were I just remember that one. So yeah, the of the architecture of the just different pieces of design here and there, and yeah, again, this is Eindhoven. Yeah, so we just arrived on a plane to Eindhoven, Eindhoven Centraal, and then went on to grab lunch because yeah, we were pretty hungry back in the on that day. So yeah, there are some Catholic churches, and yeah, I told you before that I'm agnostic, or at least I don't remember which one. Anyway, so I'd been to many churches, and I admire the architecture. Not a strong believer, and God or other entities, but yeah, I mean the architecture is insane in my view, and even with all those horrors that the Catholic Church made, like putting women to the stake and burn them to death for just bathing, or like trying to heal other people. This is like, what the fuck, seriously. But anyway, I mean, the reign continued for roughly half of a millennia, so yeah, 500 years or so. But anyway, in spite of those kind of wrongdoings in the past, the architecture of the buildings is still insane for me. So yeah, I mean, you can see a lot of bicycles, like shitload of bicycles, and bicycles in each and every what is happening here? Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can see bicycles right from the start. So this is the yeah, um, the central train station in Eindhoven. So yeah, not only bicycles but bikes, but bicycles in like enormous amounts. So those are like parkings, multi-level parkings for bicycles, because the infrastructure for bicycles in the Netherlands is insane. So those are some statues on the bridge just outside the train station in Eindhoven. Yeah, I fucked it up. I don't know what happened. So yeah, I love this just connection between let's say kind of old type of brick layered building with the glass outside coverage of the internal house. So this is like a house within a house, basically like a nesting doll of houses. And I've seen, I passed by this particular building during nighttime, and the light was amazing. Oh yeah, by the way, one other thing that is very kind of connected with Netherlands as light. So Philips is one of the biggest companies in the world in terms of production of light uh, items, lamps, or however they're called. So yeah, I mean, there's a big uh, part of life in Netherlands is the lightning aspect. So during evening time, you can see that the windows and buildings, they have different light in each apartment, and it is all creating this very I don't know, spatial feeling in terms of kind of mysticism in a sense. I don't know why the fuck I use word mysticism. I'm not sure. fits here. But yeah, anyway, just some walking pedestrian streets and people passing by. This is this building of Eindhoven Central train station. So I mean, as I mentioned before, you can see that they put a lot of emphasis on architecture, and you can see it everywhere. So this is just a corner of a hotel that me and my wife stayed at. Those are rooms in the back. Again, just a glass and metal construction from a concrete building, which carcass. And this is inside. So those are like thick layers of glass, all bricks actually, out of glass. And though they look simply insane. I mean, maybe I am just kind of weird person, but while I was passing by those buildings, I couldn't help myself but just to adore them and admire them because look at this architecture. This is like very different. I mean, there is some sort of consistency, but then again, there are pieces that are like very different. So, I mean, the symmetry in a sense, it presents, but not really because the top is different. So, all those lines, well, actually, this is more of a color thing, although the construction elements there as well create that shape, that this particular part of it. But I know nothing about architecture, but this is just to me very good looking architecture, let's put it this way, not only because it looks kind of solid and very neat and kind of premium in a sense, especially if you compare with like typical architecture somewhere in New Delhi, you'd see the difference, right? But yeah, just in general, I couldn't help myself but to admire it. And this is maybe not at the headquarter, but an office of Diageo. So this is one of the alcohol giants, and they own shitload of brands. Smirnoff vodka, for instance, Johnny Walker. Fuck. I mean, Guinness. They own Guinness, but it typically is being put in cans by Heineken. But yeah, and other brand. No, Olmeca is Pernod Ricard. Fuck, they had tequila. They have like really big portfolio of alcohol drinks and brands. So yeah, I'm probably I'll just post it somewhere in the comments. So yeah, this is just a street sign, but again, I was admiring the infrastructure. So you can see those are roads for bikes, and you can see them across the entire country, not only in cities like Amsterdam or Eindhoven. You can see them everywhere. And actually, there is a pathway for pedestrians, but the people on bikes, they have kind of преимущество, advantage, right? So, uh, yeah, I mean, look at this, quite neat church, another one, but yeah, looks nice to me. So yeah, I said I'm just one of those tourists that goes around and makes pictures of corners. Like this is just fucking graffiti. I mean, I just I thought like, yeah, I need to make a picture of that. Why the fuck not? But yeah, something probably that I've seen that I like there. So yeah, there's some abandoned bikes, some bikes stitched to each other, to trees, to pieces of metal or whatever. Yeah, some places I like. I remember why I make this picture because Mogu or Magu in Russian. It's yeah, I can. Um, but yeah, it looks still nice and just some churches again. I mean, look at the architecture, right? I mean, this is, I guess, Catholic church, but fuck, I mean, what are they doing here, really? I mean, look at this. This is just a piece of metal out of the kind of concrete blocks or something like that. But yeah, this is just insane. I mean, in my view, again, you can think it's a piece of shit, but I just cannot help myself but to admire. And a lot of people just riding on bikes, talking on phones, actually using one hand to hold the phone. Some people driving without even holding the wheel with their hands. So yeah, look at I don't know what type of kind of floor is this, but yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the colors are all that different, heading towards autumn. So a lot of red and yellow and green, and the ones that are in shadow are more green than the rest because of the sun destroying it because of the absence of the ozone layer. But yeah, I mean, trams, cars, but cars definitely don't have advantage. Yeah, and I again, just fucking door, right? Actually, not about the graffiti. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But yeah, I just wanted to admire those doors and those, блядь, плитка. Yeah, pieces of ceramic squares that are placed there with the combination of other building materials and that old door. I mean, I don't even know why I made a picture of it, just liked it. But yeah, yeah, this this is a nice one. So this is something that got me really intrigued, and it looks a lot like damn, what was that called? So Tata Nano, I think, if I remember correctly. So let me Google it here. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, let me show you here real quick. How does it look like? Yeah. So there it is, right? Okay, Tata Nana. Yeah, I don't know why it's showing me in Russian, but fuck it. Yeah, so I thought like, okay, it should be popular in Netherlands, but not really. I don't know why, because it looks exactly the same. And probably if somebody at Tata is watching this, you may want to look into it because this is a really nice market and niche. Oh, Buddha sitting there. So maybe no, actually it's not. Oh, it's Ferrari, right? Could be. I don't know. I mean, what I know about cars, pretty much nothing. They have four wheels, that's it. Yeah, five, right? But yeah, just some. Oh yeah, who the fuck was that? Amerigo Vespucci or some other person? I don't know. No, Jean van Gaalem or somebody like that. There was probably an explanation given there, but yeah, you can find information about some of people, historical personalities there, and mainly men, of course, right? I mean, who was in the head at the heading, leading the church, right? Not women, men. So hence the consequences. But yeah, this is like typical Amsterdam at the outskirts, not in downtown. Some dinners here and there as well. But yeah, those parks, a lot of trees. I mean, those buildings, they're just insane. I don't know. I think it is residential. Probably looks like. I mean, or not. Hard to say. I mean, could be. But yeah, looks residential to me. So some windmills, yeah, some canals. So starting here, and yeah, this is like a windmill in Amsterdam. Okay, looks interesting. So they used it to grind wheat, I guess, or do something about it. So, as you can imagine, there is a lot of bread products in Holland, but people are generally fit and are not overweight. One of the reasons being is that they all fucking ride bicycles all the time. I mean, if you do a 30-minute cardio on a daily basis, fucking good for you because this improves your health like significantly, and yeah, your body would benefit a lot. So if you're riding the bike on a daily basis, you're doing cardio and helping yourself to get rid of some of those carbs. Yeah, I was just a bar that I was admiring, and some dogs started to bark at me. I don't know why. Anyway, probably I've intruded these or her space. So yeah, just some random streets on our way to downtown in Amsterdam. I was just passing by in the morning, and admiring all those uh, bicycles and those buildings and the architecture, the canals. The light was amazing. We got lucky with the weather. So yeah, there's a family. What the fuck am I doing? So there's a family bike with a small bike, and it's nice. And you can find some abandoned, like totally abandoned bikes. Some were covered in spider web. I think, yeah, we were heading toward. Oh, yeah, here's me and my wife. So yeah, just passing by some of the Victoria Region International. I don't even know what that is. Just again, some buildings. Oh yeah, by the way, as you can see, there are hooks at the top of buildings, and they are there to be used as a lift for furniture or like bed or couch or television or set or microwave. No, microwave, I think you can lift. But anyway, something that is heavy and you cannot bring it up using stairs. They have those hooks, and then the just basically do the old school lifting of items to put it down in your apartment. So yeah, just some random places, some people eating. I made a picture of them without asking them for permission. But yeah, again, just some combinations of different houses standing together next to each other, and you can see that the some of them are like this. I mean, inclined. They have a kind of inclination angle or something like that. But uh, where the fuck was I heading with this? Oh yeah, that's Amsterdam. I think I'm gonna pause it here for now because it's gonna take a while to go through those pictures and talk about some other topic that I wanted to talk about, but I completely forgot. Yeah, I think I wanted to mention a movie called Wag the Dog, right? If I haven't before. Definitely I should. So the movie that I probably mentioned or I didn't, I don't know. Anyway, so it's called Wag the Dog. It's with Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, I definitely said that. Anyway, so that movie is about like current situation in fucking Russia, right? But the next election in Russia is happening next year, and you can imagine that it is going to be a very kind of simple and basic election, like yes or yes. Okay, and of course, everything will be totally controlled by the government, and there won't be any competition because nobody would. Well, there were some people in the past who tried and dared to, but got eliminated, killed, like Boris Nemtsov, for instance, or other people, especially from the law enforcement structures, let's put it this way, like Litvinenko and others. But anyway, why the fuck am I talking about this again? Because simply of the reasons that what happens in Russia is influencing the entire world in many cases. And I mean, of course, mainly Western world, but in the end of the day, having in mind the supply chain, it influences everybody because still it is a global world. But in this global world, there's a very different direction that is being taken, which is called localization and or globalization. So anyway, the point here is that in that direction, countries are thinking about being self-sustainable and kind of disconnecting from the global world because of those intertwined connections to be self-sufficient, put it this way. And one other thing that is important is that so self-sufficient, goal, yeah, right. So there's another structure that is called BRICS, and recently it's been announced that the BRICS countries, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, originally, now becoming BRICS plus. So I know, but I guess as it was with LGBT, at some point in time became plus, and then GBTQ plus or whatever. So same BRICS plus, because it's being expanded and extended by countries that are, well, either opposing US as a kind of power or regime, or are just trying to get a broader connection or something like that. So I heard there's been an attempt to make a G20 plus African countries. We're like, okay, so how many? 56 or 65? I don't remember how many even, but exactly. But yeah, I mean, those countries is just one representative for the G20. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Entire continent. But I mean, of course, there are reasons like size of the economy and other aspects. But there's BRICS, and it's been announced that there are other countries joining the bloc, the party, the whatever the fuck you call it. And the interesting thing about current status or structure of BRICS is that it is kind of balanced with the radicals like Putin uh, and other entirely different liberal, well, democratic people like Narendra Modi. So they're within the same organization, right? So the democratic structure and like entire fucking communist structure, I just knocked myself on the glasses. So yeah, let me clean them and get myself to see things better. So anyway, what I was saying is that the other countries that are joining BRICS are what am I doing? Are going to influence the balance of power in the world. And one of the still key aspects and the kind of pillars of such foundation and the ideological reasoning or direction is Russia, of course, because it's still big. I mean, you cannot help but notice all those publications where the person in charge of the country in Russia says that it's the fifth biggest economy in the world, and then you're like, yeah, okay, interesting. So everything that happens in there will have an influence on the entire world, regardless of whether you want it or not. And there are people who uh, would love to stop war, but it's not only about war. Unfortunately, that person in charge is like a mind corrupted with power and not willing to release it. So if you again look at the examples given in media or this legacy, the cultural legacy that we call movies, you can find some cases in TV shows like House of Cards or Boss. That one I love is like two season. Unfortunately, got canceled, but it's just fucking amazing. I mean, same topic, but yeah, about the corruption of mind with power and how it then affects people's judgment to decide on what not do and not do. So unfortunately, yeah, you need to understand what is going to happen in Russia because yeah, it will affect the entire world, and the decisions people make will kind of have this hollow effect or the butterfly effect or whatever the fuck you call it. So again, there's no competition. There's nobody who could try and fight or challenge. There's been recently a person who got killed, I guess. I mean, all the media channels are talking about the Kremlin, the mafia that is sitting there. But I mean, who knows? Maybe. Uh, One thing you can say for sure is that, although for sure or not, I don't know. I mean, it's been confirmed that Prigozhin is dead. However, I don't know. I mean, conspiracy theories are out there, and you can definitely find people saying, is it? But anyway, more and more people are jumping on that on the boat's version, version of a boat of a version of the situation. I don't know why I wanted to say boat, but yeah, I know why. I was looking at the picture here. So this is a boat in a canal, just people spending their time, enjoying the sights going around the canal. So this is why boat. But anyway, the thing here is that uh, the politics, whether you want it or not, is going to be there. And a lot of people are still saying, oh, I'm not into politics. We're not influencing shit. And one other thing that I wanted to highlight about politics in Russia in particular is that currently they're trying to ban abortions and limit women in terms of the power of decision over the destiny of a child, basically, right? So, I mean, this is something that people don't really recognize and the size of a problem, because I don't see anybody complaining about this topic. However, everybody is like, yeah, I mean, look at the Putin and whatever the fuck is happening, but nobody's talking about the limitations of abortions. And I, I I don't understand. Like, seriously. Is it because people are like not into politics or what? Because yeah, if you look at other countries, well, in the majority of them, abortions are not prohibited, of course. They're not outlawed. However, there are countries like Poland where abortions are banned, and then, it's part of EU. So, still, there is a lot to improve there. But you probably heard about the recent attempt of implementing an abortion ban in United States. I don't remember the details. It was outlawed in one particular state, not nationwide, because they have the different policies depending on the state. However, it created a big resonance in the society, and the reason being is that society for that society, that problem is significant enough, whereas for Russia, I guess, just people don't care, don't realize, don't understand, or they're just plainly stupid. Because if it happens, or probably when it happens, I mean, since we're talking about the country being a 1984 by Orwell, it is inevitably going to happen. But, at least people could have tried to influence things through various means, like saying their opinion out loud, for example, or try demanding debates and public discussions, and, do something about it. Because, yeah, when it's done, it's going to create a massive issue. So there is a demographic problem with Russia, and it is becoming a what's the proper word, nationalist state, more and more, while, claiming that, the nationalists are in Ukraine. Actually, nationalists are in Russia, because what is happening right now is that a lot of people from, well, actually, within and outside Russia, of different kind of nationalities, let's put it this way. And, but yeah, I mean, nationalities. So they leave there and they adjust, and they are part of the system of the society, and there are more interracial conflicts. Don't like the word racial. Oh, by the way, I've just noticed that there is a dog here. So yeah, going back to that thought. So, the society is very fragmented in terms of the number of nationalities and the people who live there. There's a demographic problem. There's a decline in birth rate, basically, over the years, and because of war, more people are dying. So, it makes sense. Um, and yeah, if or when the abortions are prohibited, it's gonna cause way more problems that there are with medicine, and the problems are already appearing in the education system, and people are being taught in the school history books about the reasons of a special military operation, which people with common sense call war. Well, anyway, so the reasons are being rewritten and changed, and people are being dumbed down. And still, with this happening, and with this additional um kind of push for giving birth to more people to fix the demographic pit, it will be a very difficult thing to do. Yeah, I mean, the entire country would start. Actually, it's starting already, but yeah, I mean, fall apart, fragment further, and yeah, I mean, degrade, basically, because there's direction of progress and there's direction of conservative degradation. So there you have decided to go on the latter one. And even though, they say it's fifth biggest economy. No, not really, because of many reasons. There's an internal deficit of a budget, which is fucking huge. If I remember correctly, it's like 3 trillion rubles or something like that. But yeah, I think I can Google and find that number later on. I just need to put a note for myself here. Right. Deficit, right. So deficit is there. The problems are there. So the economy starts to crumble, and they're trying to increase the population using barbaric methods, outdated and proven to be wrong and harmful for human heart, health, and well-being, especially for women. So women are becoming even more vulnerable, and society is becoming even more patriarchal. And again, they are conservating the world and their world, of course, and they're heading towards becoming another North Korea, just slightly bigger, and yeah, with their own victory and vision and whatever the fuck they create when the time comes. But again, going back to the election. So that motherfucker is going to be elected one more time. Apparently, no doubts about that, because it's being plainly said out loud that the election is being controlled. It's being run electronically throughout the duration of 4 to 5 days. So there are a lot of places where it can be controlled and kind of managed, if you know what I mean, so that the desired results are there. So there is previous experience. There are limitations in terms of the public unrest. So there are no candidates who could challenge the status quo. So yeah, there is pretty much no hope, and it is, of course, good thing that people are mortal. But on the other hand, time is a very subjective aspect, especially when you live on Earth and the duration of your life is limited. So probably you'll get lucky. And even though, I mean, if you look at the history of humankind, we live in at the time when there is this least amount of wars and deaths. Still, the war is there, unfortunately, and humans are killing another humans, which is completely stupid. So this is happening, and that motherfucker is being elected. So this is, again, I'm gonna bring this from time to time because it requires additional kind of perspective, in a sense, because the news and the sources and various media by various experts that are there, unless you know you are into politics, you probably won't go there. But at least on this fucking podcast, you may want to go there, or even if you don't want to go there, you'll get there if you watch this episode. But yeah, hopefully it was entertaining. I think I need to go, and I got a lot of shit to attend to. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me. And if you want to upgrade my boat ride, let's fucking donate. Thank you, and see you next time. Be whomever you want to be.